Welcome to Shitcoin TV, everyone. Today I'm joined by Andreas, as always, and today we have a special guest returning for a second appearance on the show, Ameen, CEO of SpankChain. Welcome, Ameen.
Hey, thanks for having me again.
So the reason we have Ameen on again is Andreas and I have been taking a big look at Ethereum and getting excited about what's to come. And we thought we'd pull in one of the people who is most involved in the ecosystem and kind of doing plenty of stuff around it. And also we got word through from the artificial intelligence at Sideshift that I just wanted to know a little bit more too. So we thought we'd pull Ameen in for this one. So I guess the main thing we wanted to talk about first off, is, let me get this right, MolochDAO.
Yes.
MolochDAO.
That was really good.
We'll go through multiple pronunciations, I'm sure. But so I know you've been speaking about it a lot, and would love to get the lowdown on what it is and just the breakdown of it.
Yeah, sure. So MolochDAO is a DAO. Well, it is a organization. It's a grants-making organization to fund Ethereum ecosystem development. So we launched it on Valentine's Day at Ethereum Denver, the hackathon, and we initially had 22 people who each put in 100 Ether. So we launched with 2,200 Ether. At the time, that was about $10,000 each, but since then it's about doubled. It tripled, and then it went back to doubling. After the initial launch, we funded a couple things. We funded a State of Ethereum 2.0 report, which signaled the need for additional coordination around the ETH2 effort. And then we also attracted a couple high-profile donors, namely Vitalik and Joe Lubin and the Ethereum Foundation and Consensus, each of those four joining for 1,000 Ether, which put us over $1 million, and there's about $1.5 million in the DAO today. So the way it works is that anybody who is a member can propose a grant, and that gets voted on by the other members. There's a 7-day voting period during which everybody can vote. There's no quorum, and then the vote's final at the end of the 7 days. Now, the unique thing about Moloch is that minority protections are built into the protocol. So if you disagree with how a vote went, you can pull your money out whenever you want. And you get your proportional share of the Ether that is held by the DAO. And that's called rage quitting. So it's a technical term now. Inspired by past and MMORPGs and World of Warcraft and video games, like there's the contract that actually holds the money in Moloch is called the Guild Bank. I sort of use DAO and Guild interchangeably. And so it's very simple. It was designed with so my first week at Consensus was the DAO hack. So that was very real for me. And I was trying to avoid that. I spent the last couple of days, so I wrote all the code and tested it all myself, and I spent the last couple of days just being like, please don't be Stefan Twall, like please don't be Stefan Twall, like I really don't want this thing to explode in my face. As a result, it's very simple. It's just 400 lines. It does absolutely nothing except what it is meant to do, which is allow people to submit proposals, vote on them, get the money, and then be able to leave with their money anytime. So far, I think it's been a success. Some of our more recent grants have been for a UI on top of a mixer. There's a iOS mobile wallet called Argent, and they built a mixer system called Hopper, and we're building a desktop UI on top of that. And so we're also funding more ETH2 coordination efforts. So we're about to publish a report about the state of libp2p integration into ETH2. And there's a couple other proposals that are active right now. You can go to MolochDAO.com and check them all out.
What's libp2p? Is it just what it sounds like?
Yeah, so it's a library. It's a networking library that's made by IPFS, the same guys who made Filecoin, Protocol Labs, that group.
Okay. It's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's network discovery, transport, peering, all of that. There was a decision made to use it for Ethereum, but nobody's actually using it in production yet. And so we are figuring out what extra work needs to be done in order to make sure that it's ready for ETH2.
How does it work in terms of like membership? So can people still is that kind of, can they still get involved now? What's the process of that?
So I guess I skipped that part. The grants application system and the membership application system are actually the same thing in the contract. It's just to make it more simple. And so if you, when you submit a proposal, you specify the number of shares that you want, and you also specify the amount of tribute that you offer to the guild. And so if you offer no tribute, then and then you request shares, then those shares will be minted for you. That's a grant, right? The minting of those shares proportionally dilutes all of the other members based on how many shares they have, and that's a value transfer to you. But if you're coming in with money, you're offering tribute, then you're buying in to the guild, and so that will you will then participate in all future grants proportional to how much money you put in.
And
you still have to be voted in.
Yeah. I got a question. So once MolochDAO is, it's been up and running for a while, then I would be able to use the same contract to, to run, to admin a soccer team or a distributed business or a political party or anything, right?
Well, it's really interesting that you say that, Andreas, because there's actually a couple other forks of Moloch. So when I say fork, I mean like spiritual fork, right? They're actually using the exact same code. And so they redeployed the same contract. And one of the groups to do that was another Ethereum organization called the Meta Cartel. So they launched the Meta Cartel DAO. And that is more focused on UX, dApps, developer tools for making the Ethereum application experience better. So it was actually launched by this guy, Peter, who was the first person rejected from Moloch. So I called him up and hey, I tried to get you, because I tried to personally recruit him because I was interested in what he had to offer, and then he didn't get in, and I was like, screw it, let's make another one. He's like, 2 steps ahead of you, man. Like, I've already got all these people. We're gonna do it. And I was like, great, I'm in. Like, however, we can work together. And so now that group is like 50, 60 people, and a couple DApp organizations building dApps. Gotten together, pooling some money. I think it has a couple $100,000, and it's starting to decide on the first grants that it's making.
Can an instance of the DAO, can it make investments? Like, would it be hard to modify it so that the tribute goes to buying an ERC20?
So the contract as it is right now, it only handles one type of ERC20, and that's set at the contract deployment. And so for Moloch, I picked Ether.
Oh, so it could be DAI if I want to.
So it can be DAI. Yeah, exactly. And there's another project, which I think we'll come back to, called YangDAO, but that one does use DAI.
Oh, that's perfect, because then you could use the contract to do a pooled buy-in into an ICO or some other investment. Like if each of the members didn't have enough Ether to join, but they do as a whole, but they don't want, like, they're not best friends with the other people, and you could sort of use the contract as a proxy for buying something, right?
Absolutely. I mean, so for Moloch, that was never the intention, right? It was launched as a grants DAO. I'm not interested in selling, something that could even be conceived as a security, because, like, with Moloch, you will only get less ETH than you went in with. You will not make money off of this thing. But
no, I'm thinking I'm going to make money from it, not you.
Sure. It is conceivable that somebody could deploy another one of these. One, it's actually pretty easy to extend it to have multiple ERC20s, and then it could buy any token. You just need to have a few for loops. And then you can also, like, if you wanted to use the exact same contract as is, you could do like a semi-trusted deployment where you buy, the DAO buys, but then some token gets airdropped onto all of the members proportional to their shares at the time of the purchase, right? So yeah, a couple ways of doing that.
So I guess we spoke about MolochDAO quite a bit there, but Ameen, I guess it'd be great to get a bit of an update from what's going on at SpankChain. I know you guys have been pushing out updates all over the shop. So what's new with SpankChain these days?
Yeah, so Moloch is actually just a side project, right? That was like a hobby. We were like, okay, let's make an alternative to EF grants. Let's try to accelerate things. My full-time job is the CEO of SpankChain. So SpankChain, we've been working hard. We have a couple of updates I'm excited to share. So we launched our B2B product. It's called SpankPay, and it is a crypto payment checkout system that you can put on your business. It's sort of like a BitPay clone, right? But more focused on the adult entertainment industry. The UI is sleek, it's sexy, it's fast. We're using zero confirmations. So if you are interested in trying to double spend us, we're trying to collect the best data set for double spends. And what that makes the experience is that it's instant for users, right? Normally when you go to checkout with crypto, like you wait, 10 minutes, 20 minutes for Bitcoin confirmations, or like, I checked out through Coinbase Commerce and it was like 2 minutes for a $20 purchase. It made me wait 8 confirmations. I'm not going to, double spend like 8. And so it's like, this is a worse.
You know how double spends work?
Yeah, exactly. This is a worse experience than credit card. So we just accept, small payments instantly, and it's a competitive experience with credit cards finally. And I think that's really cool. And we've actually launched on 2 sites already. And one of them is called Sky Private. It's one of the biggest Romanian chem sites. Another one is called Just for Fans. It is a gay clip site. So check those out if those tickle your fancy, and check out SpankPay on those sites.
Did you say Just for Fans?
Just for .fans, yes.
Oh, I thought I saw a female. I think it was Brenna or someone posting on that site.
You might be thinking like OnlyFans.
That's the one.
Different site. We're still working on getting them as a customer as well. And so that's SpankPay. We're still expanding, trying to find more merchants to adopt. So if you're listening to this and you know anybody in the adult industry, go to SpankChain, join our Discord, ping me, let us know, make a connection. We also have our cam site, which we've been upgrading. So the cam site is called spank.live, and there's performers that are streaming, and you can tip them, and they'll do things. And we just added credit card payments to that. So we're accepting fiat through a high risk 10% charging payment processor, which is sort of the bane of the adult industry's existence and the justification for the crypto payments in the first place. And also, we just opened the platform up to international models, which we've been waiting to do for some time, and I'm very excited about. So, yeah.
And have you, in terms of the international people, performers already coming on? Then has it been pretty like seamless? Have you? And I guess you have people kind of queuing up to get on.
Exactly. Yeah, we've had a couple performers queuing up. We were starting to see a trickle in from Europe, some Asian performers as well. So I think that'll continue to grow, especially with accepting credit card. I love crypto as much as the next person, but we're also trying to make money for all the models on our site. Not accepting fiat currency means we're sort of excluding the 99% of people that don't hold crypto, and it's not a very good business move. So we had to do that. Ideally, everybody would pay in crypto all the time, but I think eventually we'll get there.
And I guess as well, when everyone sees all the booty flying around, they'll probably be like, "Wait, I probably should get involved in that somehow," and be
right.
Yeah, and these when you add these card processors that are pretty expensive, they're reasonably easy to add, but they're also reasonably easy to remove. I mean, there's so many so many Bitcoin exchanges have added these and removed them and added and removed them. It's for the people who were in Bitcoin like way back in the day, like 2012. That was the best way to do it. You used one of these card processors that would charge crazy amounts, but it's like that was the only way. So I don't mind it for bootstrapping. Some people just want to buy the service.
Yeah, I think it's helpful because most most payment processors don't touch it all anyway.